Hey guys, welcome to our weekly Q&A here on TikTok. I'm so excited to see each and every one of you. We are jumping in today giving away an ebook, so the more you talk to me, the more likely you are to win an ebook. I don't limit how many times you can win. We just dropped a brand new surprise book this week. We've got some big announcements. We're going to be answering all of your questions for the next hour, so go ahead and drop your questions down below. And thanks so much for jumping in and joining. Let me know who you are and where you are joining us from. And if you guys missed the pre-party, you missed some good stuff today. Alright, let's go ahead and let's take a look at all these fun things. I do want to remind you that we do have a brand new series out today. It is available right now. There we go. I turned it so you could actually see it. Saving North is my Christmas short story. It's all about Santa's daughter and a refugee elven prince who have to save the North Pole. It is part of a 6-book series of short stories, and I wish I had fanned that out beforehand, but I didn't. Let me real quick just fan this out for you guys. And close enough except for the last one. These revolve around the holidays. So we get Santa's daughter, we get Father Time's daughter. This one, Father Time's daughter. We get Cupid's daughter. We've got the adopted daughter of a leprechaun. We do have the daughter of an egg painter for Easter. And we've got our Halloween queen as well. These are going to either come out at the beginning of 2021 within a couple of weeks of each other, or we're going to wait for their respective holidays. We haven't made that choice yet, but I want to hear from you. Do you want to wait around until next Halloween for the last one, or do you want me to do them all at the beginning of 2020? I'll be letting you guys know closer to 2020, but the next one definitely comes out right before New Year's Eve. It's going to be lots and lots of fun, and I'm super excited. I know Danielle messaged me that she got her copy of the book earlier today. Mine's due today, but I still don't have it. Our postal system's super slow here, so I probably won't have it until like 9 o'clock tonight. But I want to hear if you guys get your copies of these. And of course, you know, we also gave out the Jaded Christmas bonus scene in the newsletter this week. So if you didn't get your hands on that, too bad. You missed a good one. I do have one more Christmas short story. When I say short, it's like super short. It's an NA, a new adult contemporary. Those things that I don't write. That was from an anthology I did like 2 years before I became a published author. So that may be given out in the newsletter this coming week, but y'all have to ask for it. Otherwise, I'm just going to sit here and hang out. Alright, guys. Let's jump in. Let's get some of these questions answered for you. I want to scroll up and chat with you. It is Friday. I'm so glad that you enjoy my books, friends. I can't believe Christmas is next week either. Nope. I definitely wrapped my presents today. I filmed it as a vlog for you guys, and we actually talk about some of the bonus presents that I've been giving you, and I'm going to be giving you in the future inside of that vlog. It's not edited yet, so probably next week. But I did some cool things, and I definitely showed you presents that I bought for people. So fingers crossed my family doesn't watch my vlog. North is amazing. I'm so excited that you like Saving North. It is a fun short read. What book did I have the most fun writing? I really enjoyed writing my Golden Trilogy and my Jaded duology. It definitely involved me like on the floor working out the fight scenes and like figuring things out. It was very fun exploring those books back in the day. They were my first two, so. What book was the hardest to write? Probably Mulan Dragon Shifter, because I actually plotted that book. I'm a plantser, so I'm right in between plotting and pantsing. I don't like knowing every single stepping stone, but I do like knowing the major ones when I write my stories, and then I fill in the gaps in between. Because I was teaching on how to plot, I actually plotted out this book, and then I had to adhere to it, and I didn't like the full level plotting for me, so that made it a little harder. What are your favorite books that you've written? I really want to get some for my birthday. I do recommend Jaded. The Jaded duology is a good place to start. It's a really great representation. It will make you throw the book across the room. You're going to hate me at some point, but it's a really fun cat and mouse game read. You definitely go with Jaded for that one. I am super proud of all of my books. I don't know if I could pick just one of them. They've all done so well. I've had the number 774 and 87 best-selling book out of every book in existence on Amazon. All of my books have been number 1 in their categories. I've worked super hard on them, so all of them. I'm very proud of my work. Should you finish Jaded before you read the bonus scene? Yes. The bonus scene does take place in between Jaded and Risen. So finish Jaded first if you haven't read it. The ebook's free, go get it. Read that first, but grab the bonus scene now because you won't be able to get it after the fact. I only put it out at Christmas time. So, grab it, finish the book, then read the bonus scene. I'm so glad that you show up to my lives every week. That's super exciting. Can you read the Jaded Christmas story without having read Jaded, or would it not make sense? Yeah, no, don't do that. Read the book first. Read the book first. How do we get on your newsletter? You can go to newsletter.kmrobinsonbooks.com. Just newsletter.kmrobinsonbooks.com. It's also linked in my bio, so you can check it out there. By the way, the newsletter is a weekly thing. I send it out every single week. I never ask you to buy things. I ask people to buy things exactly once in the 3.5, almost 4 years that I have been a published author. I am going to ask a couple of times in the beginning of 2021 because we're trying to get 6 of us authors on the new on the USA Today bestsellers list. So you're going to get a little bit at the beginning of the year. But other than that, it's all bonus scenes and freebies and coloring pages and fan art and things we've done this week and replays and videos and behind the scenes. It's a ton of fun content. So it's not your typical author newsletter where it's please buy my book, please buy my book, please buy my book. It's not that. We don't do that here. But it's a ton of fun stuff, so I hope you'll come join. How do you continue to have motivation to write? Do you ever feel like stopping a book? Well, writing is my job. And if you want your writing to be profitable, if you want to create a profit from your writing, if you want money because you've written a book, you have to treat it like a business. So with any business, you actually have to do your work. So a chef can't just be uninspired one day and not go to work and cook. That's a restaurant full of people without food. So you have to do your work. You have to. And when you train yourself as a professional to do this, you will be able to, without fail, sit down and continue to write your stories, come up with new concepts. You will not struggle. You just have to train yourself to get there. It does take a hot minute to train yourself to that point. You got to start small and work bigger. Speaking of which, I was definitely supposed to drop that video before we went on air today. My bad. So there's actually going to be a video here on TikTok about growing how you are writing and working faster that I'll be dropping as soon as we get off air today. Speaking of which, if you all haven't noticed, I have partnered with TikTok on a project. Some of the videos that have been going out are TikTok partner projects. So please make sure you're commenting and interacting and engaging and sharing those because that's super important for my continued work with TikTok as a TikTok partner. Okay. So you do need to continue on with your writing. You do need to do it even if you're not motivated. You need to do it even if you're not inspired. And the more you practice, the more you sit down and do it, the more you train yourself to do it, the easier that gets. If you feel like a book is not working, it's totally okay to shelve it for a while and come back to it later or leave it entirely. You don't need to finish a project if there's a better fit for you at this given time. So if it's not something that you are able to do, if you're struggling with it, it sounds like it's the wrong project for you at the wrong time. Put it away, work on something else, come back to that later. All right. Ooh, things are jumping. Hang on. If you could, would you go back and change anything from your books? No, because I have done my best work at the time, and I would probably write things a little bit differently now than I did back in the beginning, but that doesn't change the integrity of my story. I leave everything the way that it is because I put a ton of time and effort into that. I'm not revamping things, and my fans have already read it, so. But, that said, if you're still working on a project and you have time to edit it, please make it the best that you possibly can until you are 100% satisfied with it, and then get it out there in the world. But no, I would not go in and change things in my books, because I did really, really, really good, hard work on that, and I'm proud of them, just the way they are. Have I read Percy Jackson? If you have, who are your favorite characters? I have not. I've heard things about it, but I have not read it. How do you get motivated to write a book? It is my job. That is my job, and just like with any job, you have to do it. When you train yourself, you get better at doing it, and as long as you are working on a project that is interesting to you, you're not going to stall as you are working on it. And the more you train yourself, the easier that gets. How do you decide what to write about? Well, I come up with some different concepts when I'm figuring out what books I want to write, and then I figure out what the market is. because if it's not written to market, it's not going to sell very well. So I look and see which of my projects is going to be the most likely to be sellable. So I know, for me, my retellings sell a lot better than my straight dystopians, or like certain types of tropes and certain types of things sell better than other things, and so I'll write the things I know I can sell, because that's what makes me money and makes me able to then write more books. So I study the market very, very, very closely, and then I put out those books. Pokey Lou, who says my newsletter's awesome. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it. Ooh. Well, I'm glad that you all checked in. I do hope that you are feeling better. Thanks so much for hanging. How long does it take you to finish writing a book? I can write a full-length novel in 9.5 days, and that is because I have trained myself to that point. I didn't start out at that point. I had to work and train myself to get to that point, but now I can just knock out books like nothing. There's actually quite a few of us that can write super fast. I know of a handful of people who can write faster than me, and I just sit in awe of them, like, knocking out a book in a week. Oh, it's crazy, but man, when you train yourself to do something, you go really do it, and do it well. Excited that you all are popping in. Thanks so much for being here. Sophie wants to know what inspired me to become a writer. I had never intended to be a writer. I had finished college and I was working and I needed a break from everything going on, so I picked up books again. I had been an avid reader, daughter of a librarian, like I was all about books, but college took over my time and I was not able to read as much, so I kind of lost it for a while. And I found some books that I liked. I jumped into like Hunger Games and Divergent and things like that, and then I had read a book and I couldn't find another one because I didn't know how to search Amazon properly back in the day, guys. This was a while ago. And so I wrote the book that I couldn't find to read, and then I wrote another, and I wrote another. I had a friend who discovered that I was writing and forced me to query, or talked me into querying, and I had bidding wars going on. I had multiple contracts offered to me. I turned them all down. I didn't like the terms. I couldn't find the right fit, and I held on to my books for a full year. I would not do anything with them because I couldn't find the right fit, and I was not going to give away my books without good reason and without the security that I needed to give those books away, to sell those rights to my books. So I just sat on them for a year until I found the right fit, and then here we are. So it was a total accident that I became a writer. Favorite contemporary books for 15-year-olds. I am not a big fan of contemporary stories. They're just not my cup of tea usually. So I don't have a ton of recommendations. The one contemporary author I will stop reading whatever for to read her books is Lisa Brown Roberts. She is like the rom-com queen. She's absolutely hilarious. You've got to look her up. I actually just talked about her book, The Replacement Crush, on TikTok, I want to say yesterday or 2 days ago, something like that. So you can actually check out a quick video on one of those, but definitely check out Lisa Brown Roberts for contemporary. All right. Ooh. Thoughts on Pride and Prejudice. Love it. Love it. 9.5 days. Yes, 9.5 days. Yes, I can write a novel in 9.5 days. I can write a novel in 9.5 days, turn it into my editor, and only have a handful of typos come back. That is how good I am at writing, because I've trained myself to be that good at writing. Again, didn't start out that way, taught myself to be better. And you can do it too. A year is a short time to write a novel. A year is actually a little bit on the longer side to write a novel, but not for newer authors. For established authors, you're probably looking at 3 or 4 months to write a novel, once you kind of figure out your structure and how you do things. So ideally, you should be looking around 3 or 4 months to write a novel if you want to make this into a career. Let's see. Oh, guys, you're so funny. What's your favorite genre to read and write? Are they different? I'm a huge fan of retellings and then dystopians. Like, those are my big things. I love, love, love reading and writing them. But fantasy sells better than sci-fi. So I've branched out into fantasy writing. You'll see a lot more fantasy coming up from me, but also I have a serious love for my dystopians. So you will also see a lot of that coming from me too. What are your favorite fantasy books that you've written? In terms of fantasy, I love Sugar Coated. Sugar Coated is my Hansel and Gretel retelling where the witch, Annika, is working with Hansel and Gretel to assassinate the Mad King. Unfortunately, it doesn't go well, and she ends up taking the fall, and the history books paint her as this witch, but it's not quite the truth, is it? It does require tissues, so be aware. I also really love my mermaid series, the Sirenwood Saga, which I'm just really quickly looking. There it is. The Sirenwood Saga, mermaids versus sirens versus humans in the ultimate war. So good. Love this story. But there's also things like Mulan Dragon Shifter, which was pretty fun to write because it's totally outside of the realm of the things that I typically write. I don't do love triangles. I don't do shifters, I don't do dragons, but I did in that book. I threw everything into that book that I don't write. The Sinking, another great mermaid story. This is actually a Little Mermaid retelling with a dark twist. You can check that one out as well. Virtually Sleeping Beauty, which I just had in my hand and is somewhere, here it is. It's actually a cross between sci-fi and fantasy. It is about a future dystopian society where they can go inside a video game. So you've got the sci-fi elements in that it's a dystopian, but inside of the virtual reality game, you've got all the fantasy elements of like the magic and the witches and the dragons and stuff like that. So it's a really cool crossover blend when it comes to that. And Lions and Lamps, got a genie in it. We're totally all about the magic here in my Aladdin steampunk retelling. And I think the rest of mine are sci-fi. I have over 24 books. I have no idea what they are. So there you go. Oh, 99% of my stories need tissues. Yes, they do. I have exactly one book that I classify as a fluffy book. The rest are mean. And it's so much fun. Okay, let me scroll up a little bit. Oh, so many things I've missed. Hang on. Hello, hi, thanks for joining. That one I got. What are retelling stories? I've seen them before, but I'm not sure what that means. So a retelling is a reimagining of a story you know. It's a twist on a fairy tale. So you guys know the typical Cinderella story. I retell Cinderella as an assassin sent to the ball to murder the prince and his father, the king, on the night of the prince's engagement. And then the next day he forces her to work with him to find the would-be assassin woman, not realizing that it's her because she had a nanobot mask on that changed the shape of her face at the ball. So you put a spin on it. So we tell the real story of Goldilocks, how she didn't just wander into their house and then run away when they showed up. Goldilocks was actually sent there on a mission to destroy the bear family. And so it's like twists on fairy tales and nursery rhymes and mythology and other stories that come from like classic lore and legends and things like that. Ooh, Sugar Coated, you really want to read it? You do really want to read it. It's a fun one. I adore Annika and Hansel, who are secretly dating, by the way. Cover is so pretty. Thank you, guys. How old was I when I published my first novel? The first one was published back in 2017, and I am 32 now, here in 2020, so math. I want to read so many of your books. Well, thank you, Kara. I hope that you do. I'm sorry I'm asking so many questions, but what's your favorite dystopian book that you've written? No, honey, this is a Q&A. I want you to ask all the questions. Please drop all the questions down below. What is my favorite dystopian that I've written? Most of my books have a lot of dystopian vibes. Jaded is my just like straight dystopian. It is dystopian, it's not a retelling. And this is what I usually tell people to go to first. This is a great representation of my work. So Jaded, but also the Golden Trilogy is a very, very strong dystopian book that I love because it has the love of my life written into it. It's my favorite book boyfriend. It's my Goldilocks retelling. But I have tons of dystopians. Like, let me write some dystopians. That's where I'm at. Which is my fluffy book? That would be Blood is Silent. That is a lot fluffier than the rest of my stories. It's Little Red Riding Hood is a circus aerialist. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a little mean in it too, but it's nicer than the rest. Wait, what was the book about Cinderella that you've written? And the same with the Goldilocks. Okay, so it's the Goldilocks one is the Golden Trilogy. This is the complete set. There's also the standalone first book in the series. And then the Cinderella one is called Cinderella. Just like that. And it's all sorts of fun things in there. I have over two dozen published best-selling books. Most of them are retellings. They've got dramatic twists, like Cinderella as an assassin and Goldilocks as a spy, and just go look at my Amazon page. I'm available everywhere books are sold, but like just go read through them. It's fun. Okay, here we go. No, I haven't seen any other comments from you, so if you've left comments, try again. What's my favorite cover? Oh, that's like asking me to pick my favorite kid. I don't know. I designed all my covers but one, because my traditional publisher had to use their in-house person. I don't know what my favorite is. I got nothing. They're all beautiful. What act would I want to perform in a circus show? Oh, Caroline, that's a good question. So I would love to believe I could be a very cool aerialist, like with the silks up in the air and the lyre and like flying around on the trapeze type stuff. I'd like to believe I can do this really, really well. I know I would probably hurt myself, but I'm actually an avid horsewoman. I used to train horses back in the day, so I would definitely slay at doing the performances with the horses, like the trick riding and like the fun stuff around the ring. That would definitely be right up my alley. All right. Ooh, jumping things. Are my books on Amazon? Yes, they're available everywhere books are sold, including Amazon. How did you become a best-selling author? What was the biggest obstacle in becoming one? So bestseller status is based on how many books are sold or downloaded or whatever. And so the first time I became a best-selling author, actually, I guess all the times, I had been mentioned by some big companies, and they had a huge following. So if you guys know BookBub, one of my books was on BookBub, and I had 27,000 downloads of my book in 2 hours, and then 33,000 downloads of that book by the next day. So that put me as the number 7 best-selling book on Amazon out of every book in existence. And that was for the Golden Trilogy. Then Interestingly, the next one was the Sirenwood Saga. That was number 87, and it was mentioned, or there was put out in a newsletter with another company, not the same company, and that was 87. Best-selling book out of every book in existence on Amazon. And then Jaded was the next one. That was the 74th best-selling. But all of my books have been number 1 in their categories as well. So lots of fun things there, and it was just because I was put in front of a large audience, and 27,000 downloads in 2 hours is a lot of sales for books. So there you go. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us every week. Oh, you're most welcome. I always love hanging out with you guys here. It's super fun, especially because you guys bring the good questions. I love answering them. It's so fun. Ravenclaw, I don't think I said that right, but hey, which book would you recommend to start with? Jaded. The Jaded duology is usually a really good place to start, because it's going to rip your heart out. You're going to hate me. You're going to throw the book across the room. It's going to be fun. I'm going to love it. You're going to love it too. You'll thank me. Let's see. Ooh, things are jumping again. Used to train horses. Yes, I did. Back in the day. Wow, each Friday I learn something new. Oh, that's so funny, Sophie. What are your favorite retelling books? They can be your own or someone else's. Oh, they're mine. I love my Golden Trilogy, my Goldilocks retelling. That one is near and dear to my heart. I'm a big fan of my sugar-coated retelling. That's my Hansel and Gretel's Witch. I love the steampunk twist that I did for my Aladdin story, Lions and Lamps. I love the dark twist. I'm gonna go through all my books. I love the dark twist that I put on my Little Mermaid retelling. Like a human gets tricked into the sea and has to fight to get her legs back. There's a handsome mer prince. Oh, I can't tell anything else because spoilers, but so good. They're just so good. I love doing retellings twists. I adore them. How did you find your publisher, lit agent? I've been having the hardest time. Okay, so there are actually a couple of different avenues to get published. I'm a hybrid author. I'm both traditionally and indie published. I make way more money in indie than I do in traditional publishing. You can go to my YouTube page, youtube.com/KMRobinsonBooks, to learn about both of these different parts of the industry, as well as the predatory part called vanity presses that you need to avoid like the plague. This will help you make decisions on which steps to take for your book based on you, your book, how you're doing things. You have to be aware in any case you're going to be doing 90% of the marketing by yourself, even if you're with the biggest publishing houses in the industry. I have a friend who just had to sell 1,000 copies of her book on pre-order by herself. She is with one of the biggest companies in the industry. So there's a lot of different choices that you can be making. If you are looking for an agent, I do recommend 100%, without a shadow of a doubt, without any exceptions, that you are getting an agent and only looking at the big 4 publishers. If you are anywhere else, it's not worth it at this point in the industry. You're going to be much better off doing it on your own. You get to make all the choices and you get to keep all the royalties, and you don't have to wait on these time limits. They're not going to ignore you, and traditional publishers tend to ignore their backlists anyway. So you want to make sure that you, if you are going the traditional route, you get a really good, strong, reputable agent who has been in the industry a long time, who hasn't flaked out and left and come back and flaked out and left and come back. You want to make sure that they have worked with high-end people who have done this and they have those direct contacts to the big houses. And then you just need to really study who they are, what they want, and make sure you're writing to market for that. There are pitching contests, there are all sorts of things out on social media, and you can use things like manuscript wish list to see what agents are looking for things, different types of things, and then you have to be very, very, very careful about how you create your query letter, because that will make or break the potential sale of your book. There's a lot that goes into it, and I actually have episodes of my talk show over on my YouTube page with agents who break down a lot of really good steps to take to query with an agent or with a publishing house. So make sure you go watch those episodes, but that's kind of like the overview. Go watch my episodes about the different paths you can take. Make the choice that you need to make for you, and then watch the other videos about those paths to then grow through that. Just youtube.com/KMRobinsonBooks. What's your favorite book from a different author? I usually credit Hunger Games, Divergent, the Selection Series, and Branded as the 4 books that have been the most influential on my author life, so go check those out if you have not. You're currently writing a book. Any advice? Yeah, lots of advice over on youtube.com/KMRobinsonBooks. You can go check it out on over there. Alright, scrolling back up. I did throw the books across my room. Haha, I don't regret anything. What's the best interaction you've had with a fan? I really like when I go to, like, book events and things and people recognize me from across the room and, like, scream and come and throw their arms around me. And, like, just come and hang out. It's been a lot of fun. I've definitely been recognized at places like New York Comic-Con. Just like, it's just so much fun to meet you guys and hang out with you and do all the fun things in person. I of course love hanging out with you guys on our live streams as well. I love getting fan art, and I love when people cosplay my characters, and so like when they show up at conventions or things dressed up as my characters, they bring me fan art. I've had fans mail me fan art, so I've had a lot of people like email me things. They've sent me digital files, but if they've actually like created it, whether they've printed it out because it was a digital thing or they like drew it on paper, they've mailed me those things, and just, oh, so much fun. It's just so much fun. Hey, just wanted to thank you for all of the advice. I finally visited your YouTube, so helpful. Bella, I am so excited that you are hanging out on the YouTube page. We are trying to build up the YouTube page. I am trying to monetize that right now so that I can keep making content over there, because, you know, money's important, and if I'm not making money, I have to stop the fun things to go make the money. So I need 1,000 subscribers, and I need 4,000 watch hours on YouTube. So if you're not on my YouTube yet, please go over to YouTube, subscribe, invite your friends, but then sit there and watch my videos. Bonus, you don't actually have to watch them. You can just hit the play button. You can even turn the volume down and put it on the bottom of your computer screen and just let it play through a playlist. That's the way. That's the way. So we're hoping to get it monetized. I do have my social media marketing educational YouTube page monetized already, and it makes dang good money. it's pretty good. So if we can get this author one monetized, I will be able to do extra stuff for you guys and extra freebies and extra trainings, especially to help you guys who want to be authors, who are aspiring authors right now, and you're writing and you're working on things. I'm going to be able to do some free trainings and stuff for you. So help me get it monetized. Go watch my stuff. Oh, thank you for sending fire. That's just lovely. I was going to say, that's so appreciated. And I'm like, that sounds a little interesting. No, thank you. I appreciate that. But please go to the YouTube page. It's super helpful. Plus, we're dropping the Show Me How You Write series, where authors are showing you on screen the programs that they're using to write, how they set up their desktop, all those things to help you find your writing strategy. I've got author vlogs. I'm so excited. I just started author vlogs for you. I'm kind of tweaking my way of doing the vlogs because it's a little bit different than everything else. But I'm dropping those over there. We've got our replays of author convos and reader convos from here on TikTok. We've got branch off things. There's Q&As, there's live book readings, there's book cover designs, like tons and tons of stuff on the YouTube page. So please go and watch and do all the things. What character do you most relate to? Probably Jade from the Jaded duology, but also Illyria from the Golden Trilogy, and Annika from Sugar Coated. And you have not met her yet because she does not release until New Year's Eve. But I've started writing her story, and there's a lot we have in common. She's a party girl. I'm not a party girl, but like the stuff that comes behind it, wow, I definitely get slapped in the face when I met Viv. So those are probably the top 4 most connected to me characters. I don't know what my Hogwarts house is because I don't read or watch the Harry Potter movies, and I'm not 100% sure. I have a vague idea based on what other people say, but I hesitate to answer because I'm not 100% certain what all the houses represent. So that's where I'm at. But please feel free to try to put me in a house. I don't know. You are most welcome. I am always happy to answer questions. If you've got them, go ahead and drop them. You know, the more you talk to me, the more likely you are to win one of my ebooks of your choice. I don't limit how many you can win, so the more you show up and the more you talk to me, the more likely you are to win my entire dang collection. Everything is up for grabs, except for the omnibuses, because those are more than one book in one, but I love giving these away on all of our live streams, and the more you talk to me, the more likely you are to win. What is a vanity press? I've never heard of that. Well, the long explanation, or the longer, more fleshed out explanation will be in the videos over on my YouTube page, so please go check that out. But the short answer is that there are predatory presses out there that kind of say, we'll publish your book for X amount of dollars. With a publishing house, you should never be paying them to publish your house or your book. If you're paying for anything, it's a predatory company. So they'll say you have to pay thousands of dollars for us to like format your book and put a cover to your book and publish it under our name and like all this stuff. And I have so many people come to me and say, is $5,000, is $7,000, is $10,000 too much to publish a book? And then they get around to saying it's a company that's asking to be paid to do the work. That's not how that works. A publisher will pay you to buy your book. They're buying the rights to your book. You are selling those rights, which means you get sometimes in advance or you just get royalties, but you're signing away your rights to your book. You're not paying them to take your rights from you. Don't ever pay anybody to take your rights from you. But more on that on the YouTube page. Go check that out. Are some of the grades based on existing grades or people? Did I miss something? I think I missed something. Are some of the grades? Can you fill that in a little? Oh, book. Oh, are some of the books? Okay, I see under it. Are some of the books based on existing books or people? I feel like I'm still missing something. If we're talking about my books in general, I don't base them on anybody, because I could get sued for that. So it's all non-real people in there. They're not even inspired by people in the slightest. If you're chatting about this series, these are based on the different holidays. So it's like Santa Claus's daughter, Father Time's daughter, Cupid's daughter, that kind of thing, which I definitely made up because those don't exist in the in the originals, I guess. Who makes my cover art? I do. I'm a professional cover designer and photographer. I've been doing this for 18 years. So I have a pretty dang good handle on how to do this. I've designed all my covers except for one that is with one of my traditional publishers. And that's because they had to contractually use their in-house person. So I did all of them but one. Which of my villains do I think is the most evil? I have a very clear and concise answer for that. It is the commander from Jaded. And if you've read it, you understand. And that is all I have to say on that topic. I have some vicious villains, like Casper in Lions and Lamps, bad. Bad. He's probably the second worst. Oh, unless it's Lowell in Golden. Oh, I don't know. But definitely the worst is the commander in the Jaded duology. Definitely. All right. What's indie publishing and how do you market a book? Oh, indie publishing is self-publishing. So there's traditional publishing or trad publishing and then indie publishing, which is doing it yourself. But explanations on both of those over on youtube.com/KMRobinsonBooks. If you are looking for marketing help, I teach marketing. You can go to youtube.com/KMRobinson. So it's without the books part, and I teach marketing for entrepreneurs, for businesses, for authors, for all the things. I have tons and tons of resources. I have been featured on no, that's not right. That's not right. CBS News nationally. I need to stop talking. It's CBS and NBC News nationally, Writers Weekly, Business News Daily. I've been to tons and tons of conventions speaking on this stuff. I have appeared at like BeLive's LiveCon and like all sorts of like big name things, educating on this kind of thing. So you can go check out my marketing stuff there. I've even been interviewed by Facebook for my innovative work in the field. So if you need to learn how to grow your business through marketing on social media, I 100% have you covered. Like, you need to go check it out. It's all the things. Just kmrobinson.com or at kmrobinson on YouTube. We'll give you tons of resources. So go check those out. Ooh, hey, thanks for sharing videos, friends. I appreciate that. Hi, I love your content. You make my day every time. Hope you have a good day. Oh, thank you, anime fan. I do appreciate that. I'm really glad you like my content. It makes me happy. When you guys comment on my TikTok videos, that super helps me out. For those of you that missed it earlier, I'm a TikTok partner now, and I'm doing some cool stuff with them. So they're actually watching the comments and the stats. So the more you interact with my stuff, the more it helps, especially if you see hashtag TikTok partner or hashtag learn on TikTok. That is really, really instrumental in allowing me to do more things in the future. So go. Have I decided, oh, it jumped on me. Have I decided when I'm going to release the rest of the Holiday Court books yet? No, I have not, but I would love input. Do you want the rest of the Holiday Court series at the beginning of 2021, or do you want them at their respective holidays, making the last one Halloween of next year? Let me know your opinions in the comments down below. Are some of my characters based on some of the... Oh, I think you were answering me from before. No, they're not based on anybody. Do you know when the next Comic-Con will be? I really want to go to one. Well, I know they just canceled the New York Comic-Con for 2021, so not next year. Do I have a favorite character trait that I have written? I think just everything about Jade. Like, the way that she rebels against... She's about to be murdered by her new husband. She has to marry the commander's son, and they're going to make everybody believe they love her and murder her and make it look like an accident to get back at her father's failed rebellion. And so she knows she's walking into basically her impending death, and she can't really outright fight back, but she can do, like, these tiny little things to kind of reclaim herself and her life a little bit before she is murdered. So I kind of love how sneaky she is and tricky she is, and she's a little bit on the manipulative side, but like in the best way, which sounds terrible, but you'll get it when you read it. So I just love everything about her. I just love it. I love it. Hi, hello. Thanks for jumping in. Appreciate you being here. You are fire. I can't wait until I get through all of your books. The anticipation is my favorite. Oh, thank you, friend. I hope that you enjoy reading all of my 1,000,001 books. They were lots of fun to write, and I hope you enjoy them. You love Jaded. I love Jaded, too. It's so fun. I've been reading Jaded, and oh my, the romance, it's amazing. Hannah, it's so fun, right? It's so fun. Enemies to lovers, I'm just saying. Will he kill her? I don't know. Actually, I do know, and I'm not sorry for it. Not sorry for Jaded, not sorry for the sequel, Risen. How many books have you made? Oh, over 24 published bestsellers and 1,000,000,001 just sitting here waiting for me to do something with it. Whoa! Oh, all the things coming in. Hold on, I gotta scroll up. Oh my goodness. How do I organize my shelves? I organize my bookshelves, so I've got a 3-stack here and I've got a 5-stack over there. And I organize them to show off my books in my videos. That is how I organize them. What looks pretty in my videos and my photos, and to show off my books. So you'll see, like, I've got some, which way do I need to go? I've got some of my books facing out, I've got some of the spines facing out. It's all marketing. It's all for marketing. You're so happy when I answer your questions. I'm super excited that you are happy that I answer your questions. Your phone was spamming the question, it was glitched. That's totally okay. It happens. It happens, you're all good. You hate the villain in Jaded. I know. It's so bad, so bad. Y'all know he has a fandom. Some of my villains have a fandom inside of my fandom, and they're obsessed with my villains. I have a villain inside of the Golden Trilogy that had a group of people fall in love with him. He is not redeemable in any way, shape, or form. He murders people and doesn't regret it and doesn't fix himself. And they are like, we're his biggest fans. We're in love with him. You shouldn't write such swoony villains. We're going to have a Snapchat filter for him. And we, like, do all these things on social media. It was a real thing for, like, 2 years back in the day. So apparently I write good villains. And I'm just gonna, there's more to that, but we're gonna leave it at that. How long will I be on the live? I will be on the live for another 20 minutes. We always go an hour for these Q&A, so top of the hour we will be cutting this off. Hannah says, he's literally the worst. The commander is the worst. Giving away, we always give away an ebook. The more you leave comments, the more likely you are to win it. Thank you guys for filling that in. Any tips on building a dystopian world? Study the science, study the medical-y stuff, like study the technology, the stuff that will be advanced in the future. Whether or not your book has it, we will, as a society, move forward. And so you have to know the technology and the medical advances, and you're going to have to know just like the advances that we make in our society. Even if you're destroying it and they don't have technology anymore, they don't have healthcare, they don't have whatever, you're going to need to know what it would be and then what happens when they lose it. So very, very much study that kind of thing. Oh, more sharing of the video. Thank y'all. Do I make covers for other authors? Yes, I do. You can go to coveraday.com. I have tons, like literal hundreds of pre-made covers. I also do custom covers, and I do that for authors and for publishers. If you are looking for one, you can go check those out, or you can just see the pretty things I make. I also do a live stream cover creation every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern on my YouTube page, where you can come help me make decisions about what models I'm going to be using, what backgrounds, what colors. Are we going to change the dress? Are we going to make it a flowy dress? Are we going to put them underwater? Are we going to put them up on a floating island? Like, you get to help me make all the decisions every single week. And then if you're an author or publisher, you can buy it for only $100 while we're on air. Otherwise, it goes to coveraday.com, where it's at least double that price. So you can come and hang out. And that's actually a sneaky way to get yourself a custom cover. You can suggest a genre for next week and then sit there and be like, try this and try that. And you can get a custom cover for $100. I'm just saying. I'm selling myself out here, but like, there you go. Let's see. I love your books, and I love that your book recommendations, it has helped me through quarantine. Oh, I'm so excited. Is it Madeline? Madeline. I'm so excited that you are loving on those. I'm having a lot of fun giving those book recommendations. Most of them are mine, because we like to talk about my books, my babies. And you guys have over 7x'd my sales in November from what I normally get. So TikTok and I are friends right now. I'm super glad you all are going to buy the books. And not just the ebooks, like, you're slaying with the paperback book sales. Like, it's insane. My sales are insane, and it's 100%, you guys. 100%. And I love you for it, because that means I get to write more. Which cons have I been to? I've done lots of cons. Last fall I did New York Comic Con. I signed there with Veronica Roth, who wrote Divergent. I've done, like, MerMagicCon and PennCon, Charleston and St. Louis. I've done LiveCon, like, just lots and lots of fun things. I think they should come on the day that they're based on. Okay, we're getting into the holiday court ones. It takes me a hot minute to get down to your questions, because I spend time answering them. Jaded is not a retelling. Nope, it's a dystopian. It does have some Beauty and the Beast vibes. My fans have said it kind of feels like it, but it is not a Beauty and the Beast retelling. Oh, everything's flooding in now. Oi. Hang on. Ah! How do you write romance and make it natural? Well, romance is very important. Romance is what sells a lot of books, and books without romance don't typically sell as well, especially in the YA genre. So you just kind of have to decide what type of romance you're going to be writing. So if you want it to be something you don't have to build up to, make them already be dating. Then their interactions are just natural. That's how they behave. They can hang on each other, and they can speak to each other, and they can, like, touch each other's arm, and, like, kissing them is not a big deal because they're already together. If you're doing, like, a slow burn, then you have to, like, actually build up that friction and that tension, and that's a lot more work. But it's a really fun payoff. So, just start watching people when they interact with their significant other. See how they behave. See how people who are flirting behave. See how your friends who are, like, maybe crushing on that person across the room, see how they're behaving, and then start to take note of those things. Pay attention to those, and then work into that. And then be very aware when you're writing romance, it's about physical reaction. So, when she gets around that guy, how does she behave? Her eyes get bigger, maybe. Maybe she smiles a little more. She giggles a little more. Maybe she kind of pulls into herself a little bit more because she's a little nervous now. Maybe when they are closer to each other, the way that they're kind of looking at each other is going to be a little bit different. The way that they're interacting. When you do get to the point that they are, like, PDAing it up, when they are like, you know, getting all kissy face with each other, you want to make sure you're aware of physical touch, where hands are, where they're going into hair, like what things feel like, all those things. So you have to be very descriptive about it, and it all comes down to a very physical level. So what reactions they're having to each other, whether it's we're just meeting and you're cute and I'm flirting with you, or like let's make out in the closet kind of a thing. Just be very aware. It comes down to how people are interacting and engaging with each other. You're a little scared to read the end of Jaded and then Resin. Hannah, you're so funny. You're gonna need some tissues. You give up such positive energy. Oh, thank you, friend. It would be cool if they were released on the dates they were based on, but Halloween is so far away. I know, Kira, I know. The struggle is real. You also like to hide clues. I love hiding clues in things. Yes, I do. You love my jewelry. Thank you so much. Thank you. I love wearing fancy jewelry because you always ask about my jewelry and it makes me happy. This is not one of my book jewelry pieces. I do have necklaces and things that go with my books, some of which you can actually buy on my website or at conventions. This is not one of them. But I just realized today I don't have a necklace for my Holiday Court series yet, so the next time I get to the store, I'm going to go buy some pieces and make some necklaces for myself. Yes, I do. What do I write my books on? Do I use Scrivener? Okay, so Bella, you can go over to my YouTube page, youtube.com/KMRobinsonBooks, and look at my Show Me How You Write series. This is where authors like me and my best-selling award-winning author friends show you on screen exactly how we write, how we set up our documents, the programs we use, everything. So the first episode is with me. I have 2 or 3 other episodes out now. I can't remember where we're at. And everybody shows you what they do and how they write. I personally do not use Scrivener. I just use Word. I've got 3 documents up on my screen, and I explain exactly how to do it in the YouTube video, so go check that one out. You want to be in a villain fandom. Oh. Hannah, you do not need to be in the shadow fandom is all I'm saying. Do you think I can publish a book at 13? Okay, Lydia, over on my YouTube page, youtube.com/KennyRobinsonBooks, there's a video about teenagers in publishing. You need to go watch it because it's possible, but there are some legal things you have to be aware of because your parents or your legal guardian has to be involved in the legal aspects of publishing a book, whether you are indie or traditionally published. So please go watch that video. It's possible to do. You just have to be aware that there's a ton of steps you have to take, and because you're young and because you're new at this, you're going to have to take extra steps when it comes to the editing phase of this. You do need to work with professionals on this, and you might have to do a little extra work because you're newer to this. That doesn't mean that you are not an exceptional writer. It doesn't mean that people who are much older don't need as much work. We're as an industry, we just want to be aware that when you're younger, you still have to make sure you take all the appropriate steps to publish your book, and sometimes younger people like to skip some steps, so don't skip the steps. Go watch the videos. I got you covered. I really enjoy reading your books and hope I have a chance to get another one. You totally should. Christmas is coming, holidays are coming, birthdays, gift-giving holidays, or, I've got freebies out there, so go check them out. You love watching my cover designs. Oh, I'm so glad. We have 10 minutes left. I better hustle. You're finally on a break, so you have like 3 weeks, and you'll probably be on all my lives. Yay, Hannah! I'm so excited. How many chapters do the short stories have? I'm gonna assume we're talking about the Holiday Court series. Those are about 4. They're short, very, very short stories. My other short stories have more. It just depends on the length of the short story. I found your books a couple of months ago, and I'm so happy. I'm so happy that you found them too. Where can you buy my books? Everywhere books are sold. They're on all the major platforms. You can find them in bookstores. You can find them in libraries, all the fun things. If they are not on shelves in bookstores or libraries, you can request them. They can order them in for you, or do, in a library terms, they can do interlibrary loans and grab them from another library so that you can read them. So go check them out. They're available everywhere. Do you still fangirl when you meet some of your favorite authors? I have never been a fangirl person. I just kind of treat everybody like they're normal people like me. So I've met the voice of Ariel and the voice of Belle, and we just had great conversation, a lot of chatting. You guys know I'm good friends with Disney animator Philo Barnhart, who created The Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast and like Secret of NIMH and a ton of those movies that we grew up with. And we're just buddies. We just hang out. Like, we Facebook mess each other all the time. We just, like, send each other information and videos and stuff. And we just hang out. So I don't really fangirl over people. I think there's maybe, like, 2 people in the business industry that I would, like, be a little starstruck over. But other than that, I don't do the fangirl thing. But that's just, like, a me thing. It's not, like, a normal thing. All right. Let's see. You can basically find her books anywhere. Yes, you can. You can't put down Jaded. Oh, I'm so excited. You're going to stalk all the couples so you can write killer romance scenes. Yes, you should. That's the way to do it. Are all my books YA? Yes, all of my books are YA at this point. I may be branching out into some new adult, but right now it's all young adult. At least under this name. Have you been watching my TikToks? All I'm saying. You should probably. Let's see. I haven't read your books yet. What are some of the fan favorite characters? Well, typically Jaded is a good place to start. I definitely recommend that you check that one out. Wow, all the things are coming in now. Every time I get to the bottom of the list, I'm like, yes, I reached the bottom. And then 20 comments pop up and I'm like, oh, that's great. I've got 7 minutes left and I have to answer all of these things. Let me get in there so that we can give away some books. Oh, I'm scrolling. You make your own jewelry. That's so cool. Yes, I do. Some of my book jewelry, I have not made. So like one of the ones for the Golden Trilogy, my first book necklace, was from my grandmother. So she ended up passing away 2 weeks before my debut novel came out. She was so excited and so proud of me, and we were going through her things, and I just found this gold, it was several strings of beads, and it was pretty, and it's over there, and I could show you sometime. But it was perfect, and that was my first book necklace, and that was kind of how I had my grandmother with me on my release day and all the fun things. And all of my series, all my books have at least, 2 or 3 necklaces to represent it now, and I make a lot of them, and I do sell them at cons and on my website, so there's cool things there. The boys are awesome, and the leader girls are also amazing. And her crowns. Yes, I do make lots of crowns. They're, yeah, right there. Right there, you can see one of them. Which of my books has the least heartbreak? I don't think there is one. Blood is Silent, my Red Riding Hood, is the least mean. Do I prefer ebooks or paperback? To read, I typically go with ebooks because I have wrist injuries and it hurts to hold up physical books. But then I do a lot of, like, video work and photo work and stuff like that, so obviously that's going to be better for physical books. So I love them all. I love them all. You signed up for my newsletter. So many freebies. I give away so many freebies in my newsletter. I just, like, as welcome gifts. Like, here. Oh, here's day 2. Here's more presents. Oh, day 3. Here's more presents. I love it. And then I give away stuff week to week as well. How do you not compare yourself to other authors? Is jealousy common in the writing industry? For some people it is. For some people it's not. I see other authors as co-workers rather than competition. So I am working with these people to build up the industry. I cannot, as fast as I cannot write enough books to keep you guys busy all the dang time. So it's better for me to align myself with people in my genres so that when you are done reading my books, you can go hang out with my friend J.M. Sullivan and read her stories, and you can go hang out with my friend Elise Kova and read her stories, and you can go hang out with my friend A.G. Howard and read her stories. And then when I have a new book, you can come back to me, and you can just have this tight little circle of really cool authors that you can just binge read all of our books and stay busy and occupied, and then come back to us when we have new books out. So I would much rather work with people and build each other up and recommend each other's books and, like, really strongly form alliances with people than to say, oh, she's my competition. She has a mermaid book too, or she's got a dystopian book too, or she's got a retelling book too. That's a good thing. It is a good thing because we're all building an audience together and bringing up more of a love for that genre, for that specific trope within a genre, so that they sell more books and I sell more books. These are my co-workers. These are not my competition. A rising tide raises all ships, and I am here to support my people in the publishing industry because we're in this together. We are building this up together. It's really, really important for that. And it can be a little hard to, like, look at somebody and be like, oh, she's got a really good book. Maybe I'm not as good as her. That can be a little hard, but, like, you will find your audience. You will. You will find your audience. They will love your stuff. It'll be great. Y'all have your own audience. There's enough audience to go around. It's all good. And we're all going to be a little bit different with the way we write, too. What are my, what? Oh, jumping things. What is my website? It says just kmrobinsonbooks.com. You can't wait for the pandemic to end because then you can come, what did it jump to? Because then you can go to conventions and you can meet me. Yes, so fun. You can't wait to meet people at cons as well. Which cons do authors usually go to? There's tons and tons and tons of writing conventions. I'm totally blanking on them. I don't know. Some authors go to Comic-Cons and things like that, but there's, like, PenCon, which, and the very last PenCon is going to be next year, so that's not going to help you very much. But there's, like, tons and tons of writing conventions that you can check out. Some local, some national. Just go check them out. Favorite part about being an author? Hanging out with my audience is super, super fun. I always love hanging out with you guys. I have 3 minutes. I have 3 minutes to get through all this. Okay, we're gonna hustle. We're gonna hustle. You have such a big TBR, and I'm releasing more books, and it's not helping you. Sorry, Hannah, not sorry. Am I gonna make a Hanukkah one? I wanted to, but you know what? I don't celebrate Hanukkah, and I feel like I would want to do a lot more research and to really do it justice and to make sure that everything is the way that it needs to be. So I am not including one in there because I do not have somebody that I can connect with on that right now. I have written the Christmas one. We've got the New Year's Eve. We've got Valentine's Day. We've got Easter. We've got St. Patrick's Day. We've got Halloween. So those are kind of the major-y ones. But if you want Hanukkah Eve vibes, you get a lot of, like, the wintry type vibes in the Christmas one. It is about Santa's daughter, but it's not, like, super Christmassy. It is definitely more of the wintry type stuff, so you'll be good with that for now, but it is not something I put in simply because I want to make sure the representation is accurate in that. But I have had so many people here on TikTok who celebrate Hanukkah, who are looking at all my Christmas stuff going, Hanukkah, but I love that you're doing that. So it's definitely something I am considering doing some type of, like, Hanukkah short story for next year. That is something I'm looking into. You love my books. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Did I get on the list for Saving North? No, I did not, unfortunately, because it's right before Christmas and I wasn't able to announce it until the afternoon and not the morning. That didn't go super well. I'm thinking though maybe more with the follow-up book now that people know it exists. But every other book I've surprise dropped hit #1 on all the charts. I don't know why, but the book Heartless gives me the same vibes as your book. Yep, I get compared to that one a lot. I have not read it yet, but I do get compared to it a lot. Which of my books would you recommend the best romance that keeps you on your toes? Jaded Duology. And that's all I'm saying about that one. Okay, we're hustling. What's your favorite romance story that you have written? Golden. I love it. Favorite reaction you've gotten from readers? I love when they message me and they yell at me for being so mean and they like throw things across the room and they like threaten me. Oh, I love it. I love it when they gush over my swoony scenes. Like, come talk to me about my makeup scenes. It's fun. Come yell at me for being mean and killing off characters and like doing mean things to them. Please come yell at me. I love it. As long as you like my books, please come yell at me about my books. So much fun. The lives are always so helpful and fun. I'm so excited that you love them, Hannah. I am just rushing through these because we are at the end of our time and I need to hustle. You understand why I didn't do the Hanukkah one. Good, I'm glad. I'm trying to be respectful of everybody and I knew I couldn't jump in and do both a Christmas and a Hanukkah one like right now because this was a last minute decision. This was not something I had planned. I did this week. I've written over 24 published books. Favorite moments in my books. I have over 24 books. I don't know. They're all good. The kissing scenes. I love the kissing scenes. What about reaching out? Oh no. What happened? About reaching out to some other authors to do an anthology of other holidays. I have hosted anthologies in the past. If you've been on one of my recent lives, you know I'm about to host another one. So maybe you should hang out. You're probably going to get a whole story on how mean you are. Be ready. Yes, Hannah, that makes me so happy. Please do. Just like send me all the comments. I will sit there on social media and just laugh as these come in. It is my favorite thing. I love sitting there and teasing. And when people do it as they're reading, like if you know you like my books and you're going to come to me and you're going to yell at me for being mean as you're reading it, I will sit there and taunt you saying, I know what's coming next. You should probably get ready. It's my favorite thing. I'm going to read a book of yours, and you better not kill off the side characters. They're always... No promises. Were you nervous about doing TikTok? No, not at all. I've been a live streamer of a decade now. I have trained myself to be okay. I am actually an introvert. I am not an extrovert. Y'all think I am. I am not. I am not a people person, but I have trained myself to, like, do all the cool things online. Okay, we're after time. I need to finish this. Let me hustle. Let me hurry. I'll probably kill off a main character. Oh, I do kill off main characters. I do that. Absolutely. Okay. You're an introvert too. Awesome. I think I'm at the end. Okay, we need to give away a book. Let's do this. You know, every week we give away a book, ebook of your choice. You can pick anything except the omnibuses, because omnibuses are more than one book in one. You're an introvert. You seem like the biggest extrovert. I'm the biggest introvert. I do not like hanging out with people. I like my space. I am 100% an introvert. If you knew me in person, I'm an extroverted introvert, so I know how to turn it on when I'm doing things. Like when you meet me at cons and stuff, you will see me very hyper, very excited, and then I'll go back to my hotel room and I will just collapse. I'm an introvert. I am 100% an introvert who has trained myself to hang out with you guys and do the fun things. Okay, here we go. We gotta give this away. So I'm scrolling through the comments. We're going to do all the things. Merry Christmas early. We're still doing stuff next week. Not during Christmas, but we're going to have some holiday stuff next week. So I'm really, really excited for this one. You're terrified of public speaking? I used to be terrible at public speaking, and then I trained myself. Decade of this. Ask me more about that next time. We'll talk about this next time we go live. But I got to give this away because I actually have places to be. So here we go. I'm scrolling. I am scrolling. And Hannah... You're up, girl. Message me on Instagram, please, or send me an email. Tell me which of my books you want. You know the drill. If you don't know which book you want, go to Amazon, read the blurbs, come back and tell me which book you want. Congratulations on winning. I'm super excited. I know some questions or some comments have come in at the end. Real quick, let me look at those like super, super fast. No, we're good. Everything else, please hit me up on my TikToks. I will make more TikToks for you. Remember, I am now partnered with TikTok to do some really cool stuff for you for the next month and a half. Please make sure you are commenting, liking, and sharing all of my TikToks, especially the ones with hashtag TikTok partner or hashtag learn on TikTok. Those are the most important ones. If you're not subscribed to YouTube and Instagram, get over there now. I'm doing some cool stuff for you. I have my first Christmas of the season tomorrow, so we are jumping in doing stuff. I might show you the behind the scenes. Early next week, we're going to be doing some holiday Christmassy parties, so please stay tuned for those. I 100% have a glitter romper that I'm going to be wearing and a glitter jumpsuit that I'm going to be wearing for these, and I cannot wait to have a party with you guys here on TikTok. I'll keep you informed of everything we are doing. Follow my Instagram. I'll be giving you in my stories the exact schedule of things, so you'll know when to show up for all of these parties and events and giveaways that we are doing next week for the Christmas and holiday times. I do appreciate all of you going and hanging out with me. Oh, okay, you're picking books. Cool. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. I will see you for the next live stream. All the fun things. Until then, have a great day. Stay inspired. Bye, friends.